everyone, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Sophie. If you're not, welcome back. And today is part 2 of my story time. I'm so sorry about the delay. I know I kind of dragged it. Forgive me. I have a couple videos that need to be coming out because your girl been dragging it. But we're going to jump right into it. But if you haven't seen part 1, check out my description box below because the link will be there. And let's do a small recap. Let's talk about the names first, our characters, who are our main people in the story, which is Tangerine, of course. We got Fish Lips. Goldie, I kind of messed up her name prior video. I think I said Blondie, but that's the same person, so don't drag me. And my two homegirls, we got Miss Sting and we have Coke Bottle. So, of course, in part 1, I discussed my birthday. I talked about how Fish Lips felt like I didn't invite her. I came back the following weekend. Tangerine wanted to talk to me in Coke Bottle. Basically about some he said, she said, but I hit her with some information which came out to be true, and she was mad. So I ended off the video talking about 2 weeks from that initial conversation. She tried to confront, well, I guess you could say she kind of confronted me at work. So let's talk about that 2 week period before that even happened. So during that gap, Tangerine was just very standoffish. I was saying that prior. I guess she just didn't like that I knew that information. She just gave me the vibes that she did not want to talk to me because I did try. I tried with the girl, like, start a shift. Hey, how you doing? End of shift. Have a good one. Like, good night. But her body language was very like, bitch, bye. So, so yeah, her body language just gave off the vibe that she did not want to speak, or at least she was not rocking with me, which is cool. That's fine. So, slowly started to just, distance myself. But then she also did this, she started to act funny to Miss Sting. And I'm going to describe a situation that happened prior to this confrontation. So one weekend, Miss Sting was working with Goldie and Tangerine. It was in the same area, and this specific day, I guess Tangerine and Goldie had some issues. There was some problems going on. They wasn't rocking with each other, and Tangerine had made a comment to Miss Sting, and Miss Sting just felt like, you guys are both grown, which they both are. Just talk to each other. Which seems like they ended up speaking to each other because when she returned to work, I think it was a weekday. It wasn't too long after that specific shift where she saw she was added to this chat. And just a quick disclaimer, in my prior job, we was able to message each other. So if you wanted to speak to one specifically over chat, you will have to type this person's name. So she noticed she was added to a chat. I'm not sure if it was by Goldie or Tangerine, but she was added to a chat. They said something about speak to you later over the phone, something along those lines, and they both left the chat. A bit strange, but whatever. So a couple days later, Goldie stops talking to Miss Sting. She's not sure entirely why. She's just like, you know what? If you're not gonna say anything to me, I'm not gonna say anything to you. At the end of the day, we're both grown ass women. But if you're gonna sit here and believe what the next bitch gotta say, and we're gonna talk about that, then the jokes is on you. Like, girl, you too grown to just be. You know what? Anywho, Goldie starts acting funny, and Miss Sting is noticing that. And during this time, I'm just wondering why Tangerine is trying to get people against Miss Sting, or why she's trying to even cause a problem. She has nothing to do with the initial situation. She has nothing to do with anything. All she does is drink her coffee and go to work. So I don't understand why she was trying to include her in a problem or try to make it seem, Miss Sting was a problem. So let's talk about the confrontation, which happened on a Sunday. I came into work early this specific Sunday. We was in the same area, me and Tangerine. You know, nothing said. The afternoon comes, which is now my schedule shift. She's a morning person, but she ends up staying for the afternoon shift. She's now in the front section of the ER. I'm now in the pediatrics. Let's say about an hour goes into the shift. An EMT comes up to me because of a patient, brand new. I have the ID, and I also think I had this little computer with me. And maybe about 60 seconds, a little bit over, not that much, she comes around to the section where I'm at. And mind you, she's all the way in the front. So she had to get somebody to literally cover her so she could walk all the way, like through doors, to get to where I'm at. A couple of them, too. So she's like, hey, Sophie, or something. She's like, hey, can I talk to you? But are you doing a patient right now? Like, yeah. What's up though? She's like, oh, I'll wait. But since the patient was brand new and the computer I was using, I had to use another workstation. So I got up, walked over to another workstation, which she followed me. And this computer, the best way I could describe it is it's a computer on wheels. So, I put my foot like on the base where the wheels is at because I'm trying to get the patient in, but it's just she's following me. So my body language is just kind of like, what's up? And she noticed when how I, she noticed the stance I guess I put myself in. So she tried to do a similar position. And she starts off the conversation exactly with like, do you have a problem with me? Bitch, you dead ass at work? So I looked at her and I chuckled and I said, do you have a problem with me? Because clearly you on that time. So I don't know if that was the response she was expecting or what, because then she starts hitting me with that, oh, Sophie, I'm not here for the drama. Bitch, I know you fucking lied. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, are you, in my head, this girl is full of bullshit. That's all I'm thinking about in my head. She's full of bullshit. Like, bull, BS 101. Seriously. And she starts saying, that's more of me and Miss Sting type of dealing. Like we're the messy ones, basically. Okay. And that also something along the lines that was crazy though is that Miss Sting came to me and told me everything that you said, something like that. And that Goldie confirmed it, yada yada yada. But that conversation should have stood between me and you. And just quick no, because this is a problem that I had, which is something I probably should have said at the moment. It's just I thought about it after. Because what kind of annoyed me with this whole situation is that you're not my friend. How many times do I have to say it? Like, you're not my friend. Why are you telling me who I could speak to, what I can say, and whatever? You're not somebody that I talk to on the phone with 5 hours a day outside of work, or somebody I actually go out to outside events, take trips with. Like, never that. And you keep telling me who I should speak to and what I should be saying. And the gag is this girl would talk about everybody. Everybody. And while she's saying all of that, I'm rolling my eyes at her, and she wasn't liking that. She's like, "Oh, I have to something. I guess still have to be rude," but I didn't really give a fuck. I really didn't. Like, girl, your grown ass at your big ass age is behaving like that, and the fact that we was working together several hours and you did not come up to me, you waited. No. So I'm rolling my eyes at her, and I'm just like, girl, like you're saying all of this, and people just need to start taking accountability for what they're doing. She's like, oh, I agree. And I can't remember a whole bunch of stuff that she was saying because I did start to tune her out because I did have a patient that had to put in the system and get their wristband. So I would get caught up in the conversation, but then I would just be like, in my head, like, Sophie, you need to get this wristband because you could get in trouble. So I was in and out of conversation a lot, but I do recall that I ended the conversation because she said something where I had to hit her with, well, there's a lot of things about Goldie I shouldn't know. Are we gonna, you're gonna understand why. And she just looked at me like, Sophia, like, don't say that. And I walked away from her. I did because, bitch, how dare you? Like, you are a hypocrite all the way. Like, she needs to put hypocrite on her forehead. So I go, handle what I had to do with the patient. Another colleague of ours saw like the beginning of the situation and when how I was after. So I took a few minutes to myself because I was mad. I was. And Miss Thing was actually at work that day. So I went to her and I told her everything. And I actually went up to Goldie too after the conversation. And I just asked her, like, do you rock with me? Like, let me know. Because if you're doing some funny shit, let me know now. She's just like, yeah, like I rock with you. All right, I walked off. Leave it alone. Still, I get myself together to finish my shift, and then I go back. I cool down. Let's fast forward to my lunch break because Goldie is the one that had to cover me for break. She come cover me. Um, boom, go on break. I return back. We having a conversation a little bit because at the end of the day, me and Goldie specifically was still pretty cool. Like we was still cordial with each other. I can't remember where it was in the conversation. I think she brought up when I went up to her, or I'm not sure if I did, but something went back to Miss Thing. She was saying something along the lines that, oh, you gotta be careful who your friends are, because you gotta look at who is the common denominator. Like, look at all this mess with Tangerine and blah blah blah, and look who's in the middle of it, Miss Sting. And I was just like,
child. Anyway, so
you can't be this naive. You cannot be this naive. And I kind of hear her back with, like, you gotta take your own advices, because the one that you're defending, Tangerine, the one that you all of a sudden, you're going hard for, that you're saying that Miss Thing is a problem starter, that she's starting problems. Tangerine talked about you, Goldie, right? And sis, I know if you see this video, oh, you're gonna get wind of it, because you are. I know you are. And all to my fellow colleagues, hey. But she was talking mad shit about you. And if you ask around, you will find out. And trust me, don't be thinking Miss Sting, because that's what y'all was trying to do. And I ain't like that, okay? It was a few of y'all, because it was a couple people. And we're not even that into that. I'm going to keep it cute. But y'all know who y'all are, trying to say that Miss Sting was this messy person, or she was this mess, when y'all bitches know damn well all she want to do is drink either her Dunkin' Donuts or her fucking Starbucks. Leave that woman alone. She didn't give a damn. She don't give a damn about none of these bitches, honestly. But they was really trying to push this narrative, and that day they was trying to, I guess, make me and Miss Sting against each other, which I felt like, one, was very childish. Two, you really fucking tried it, because in the whole initial conversation, she had nothing to do with it. You're just mad because I just went to her and told her what happened. That's what you get when you try to start something that you probably should have thought twice about, because don't come to someone about something someone else said, because that same person could have said something about you. All right, guys, I'm so sorry. I just forgot to add in that ain't nothing happened that night after Tangerine tried to pull that stunt or any other shift. I don't know if she went home early that specific night, but all the other shifts up until I quit, you know, when she was there, she ain't do nothing or say anything. But the thing that I guess I didn't get much into Fish Lips in this part, because she is a part of the story. But during the time, because I did write my notes down, but I couldn't go back and forth, you guys. But I want to touch briefly on Fish Lips, because she did have her own situation going on during this period. I thought she just wasn't coming to work because she had her own relationships with certain people in management, and that she just wasn't coming. I personally, that's how I felt during that time. However, something completely different was going on. And honestly, it was because of Tangerine. And from the very beginning, from when I found out what happened, the timeline just goes right back to her. And let me know in the comments, you guys, if you think that is Tangerine, because I'm just going to speak briefly on this, because I don't agree with the outcome of the situation, despite, how me and Fish Lips' friendship may have ended. I don't agree with it. So make the long story short, during this period, because keep in mind this date, I returned back to work the weekend of February 5th. My birthday was January 28th. Keep this in mind. So during the time period that Fish Lips wasn't coming to work, while all this was going on, of like what, people was finding out what she's been saying, she was having her own situation with management. Now, I'm not sure if she got suspended at first. I'm not entirely sure, because, people talk, even people that be in your meetings. Back in October, early November, the same timeline, the same time that Tangerine came to me in Coke bottle and said that when we went back to Fish Lips and told Fish Lips about Tangerine's California dude, the same time, right? I recall Fish Lips did post this picture, because I did see it. I believe it was probably her close friends, if I'm not mistaken. And it was a picture of another colleague. For today's video, and for time's sake, I'm just gonna name her Sweetheart. And in this photo of Sweetheart, you couldn't really see her. It was like the back of her, from what I recall. I didn't take a screenshot, but I did DM Fish Lips about it, because I was like, girl, like, what are you doing? And she told me who it was. Fish Lips apparently didn't like her. So back with Fish Lips, the photo of Sweetheart, you couldn't see her face. You couldn't see. It was more so the back of her. But make the long story short, Sweetheart ended up getting the photo sent to her. Now, by who? That's the question. And y'all let me know who y'all think is the answer. Because for me, it's Tangerine. Because it just doesn't make sense. all of a sudden you're no longer cool with Fish Lips, you know, and now everything that Fish Lips had done or said about anyone is now coming to light from you. I make the long story short, because Fish Lips got fired. She got clipped because there was other employees in the background of the photo, which was told to me, and that's a violation, especially since we work in the ER. So she got clipped, and it's really unfortunate. And this is something, even though this video was made to kiki with the names and all that, it's really not a laughing situation for anyone to get fired. And granted, Fish Lips was very much wrong for doing what she did, because you don't do that. You know, it was very dumb. But Tangerine, fraudulent all the way. And it's just really unfortunate the how far people will go to try to ruin people's lives. And I feel like that's not cool. It's not right. And at the end of the day, none of us is perfect. And a lot of us have families. You know, I ain't got no kids, but there's people that do. And that's their source of income, their bread and butter. And I feel like it's very wrong to purposely try to get someone terminated because you had a fallout with them, or because y'all wasn't bumping coochies anymore. I don't know. I hope you guys enjoyed this part 2. You know, I hope it was a little bit of a kiki with the names, and that, you know, let me know if I was wrong in the story. Just let me know. You know, am I thinking too much about Tangerine? You know, was it really her that did it? Because her and Sweetheart is cool. Yeah. So I wouldn't put it past her. And, you know, there's already been a few birdies that's been talking. But like, comment, and subscribe, you guys. And be on the lookout for my next video. So till next time.